Hey, hey, welcome back to After the Snap. I'm your host, Tasha Pierce, and today is an easy breezy day. Forgive my background. I'm trying out something new, and obviously I suck at it, right? Um, yeah, I'm trying out some new things here with this little screen guard. And yeah, so I said, let's put some music in this thing. Now let's give me a snazzy background. Snazzy background might have to go. Snazzy background might have to go because it's like you're losing me in the background. So I might have to let that go. But the other things I'm liking. So you let me know down in the comments if you are enjoying the new vibe, because I am. Hit that like button wherever you're watching. If you're on Facebook, hey Facebook, long time no see. If you on Twitch, what it do, Twitch? It's been a long time. I should have left you. And if you are on YouTube, welcome back, old friend. You have not been unplugged from me. So let me know. I'll say B says she likes the new aesthetic. I appreciate it. I'm not going to let this music play for too long, and I just don't want to end up getting lost. Good Lord. Look at how it looked so much better before I got an audience. I'm trying to, yeah, it's just, I'm just getting too lost in the sauce. Tell me now, D, do you think I should leave the, like I see, you can't even see where my arm starts and begins. No, I think I better take it off. Let's see if I got another one that looks a little better. So I look like I'm getting lost in the. None of these acting right. Well, without further ado, you know what this is. Today we are here for a loose conversation. We're not doing anything too structured. We are going to be talking about Dwayne Johnson's big movie that's premiering this week. We got Black Adam. Got to hit theaters on your butts on Friday. So, of course, we have to do this thing in a regular After the Snap fashion, where we want to know what the expectations are. What can we expect? What is being realistic with our expectations? And besides that, what do we think is going to happen with the DCEU moving forward? DCEU has got a new leadership, and they are making some big changes over there. So what is the deal? You think we're about to see a change in the atmosphere with the DCEU? Let me know. Let me know. So we're going to start this thing. We're going to start where we start, from the beginning. And in the beginning, there was an idea. This idea was conceived of at the absolute least, I think it was 12 years ago, where The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, presented his idea to Warner about a movie that is about Black Adam. He reached out to them and wanted to do this project. He realized at that time in his life that if anybody can play Black Adam, it should be me. I like that kind of confidence that that The Rock has. So He said, if anybody's gonna play this character, it's gonna be me. And I think you guys should develop this character instead of continuing to go to the Superman, Batman well. We're not telling you that that well has run dry. Keep going to the well, right? But there's some other stuff out there that you can make movies out of. So let's get it. And that's where we started seeing our Shazams. Yeah, I had no clue or no, I never imagined that we would see a Shazam movie again. And here we were, we got it, and now we're getting Shazam Part 2. So I'm looking forward to that. We got the Joker movie. That movie, if you've not seen the Joker movie, that's a different kind of, it's not even a comic book movie. It's a different kind of movie. And such a different kind of movie that it earned Joaquin Phoenix a Best Actor Oscar. So there was that. So is the hierarchy really changing over at DCEU? That has been what Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been saying ever since he started marketing this movie. He said the hierarchy in DC is going to change. And I want to know if you guys think that that is the case. Do you think that everything changes, whether or not this movie does blockbuster numbers, which I can't see why it wouldn't? But even if it doesn't, can we see that there's a change in the air for DC? They are ready to take some chances. If you don't believe me, listen, wait till you hear some of the things that they have been up to ever since Discovery has taken over the Warner Brothers. That merger happened, and David Zaslav, Brian Zaslav. I can't ever remember that man's first name. I know his last name is Zaslav. That's so sad that I'm going to keep calling this man Zaslav. But he came in like a wrecking ball. He started cutting bad projects and cutting people, and they are still making cuts. And some of the cuts that they're doing over there, I'm like, they're hurting me as far as being a fan of some of this stuff. But if he feels like these cuts are necessary to keep the business afloat, another one bites the dust. You just got to say goodbye to an era. Now I had been saying goodbye to even what's the name of it? Cartoon Network, but they said we ain't dead yet. We not dead yet. Don't start saying that we're out of there, because we're not just yet. So yeah, we got some articles that'll help us move our way through what's going on over at DC and what we can look forward to as far as the box office for Black Adam. Let's start there. We talked a little bit about it on the weekly wrap up. So if you guys are unsure what the weekly wrap up is, that's a Sunday show that we do over here on After the Snap Movies and TV. We do that at 6 p.m. Central Time on Sundays. So if you have a moment or some time, come on over on Sundays and join us. We do not bite. And long tour, long time no see. We are back on Twitch. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. So I'm reading right here from the Wrap, and this is an October 4th article. So this article is pretty much 2 weeks old. So things could have changed in these 2 weeks as far as what people are thinking about the box office potential of Black Adam. But optimism was growing. It's the first superhero film for Dwayne Johnson. So this is his first foray into the genre. He's got a little competition in the box office. It's not nothing that he's not going to be able to beat, because he will definitely come up above Halloween Kills, because you can watch that at home on Peacock if you've got it. And then you can also watch, then there's Amsterdam, which is a movie that has been struggling in the box office thus far. There are people who are starting to give it decent word of mouth. So it might start to see an audience, but that's a different audience even. You're not looking at the same kind of audience. There's another movie, that movie with George Clooney and Julia Roberts. There's a new movie with those two coming out. Again, that is tapping into a different audience, except for, women, we kind of feel the seats a little bit when we see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because eye candy. But that Julia Roberts and George Clooney movie, that's aimed mostly at older women, so people my age and women. So that doesn't seem like it's going to keep Black Adam from being on the top. So I mean, definitely, I feel like we're definitely going to see Black Adam be the number one box office movie. The question is, how the question is, how much is that going to do? And a little part of me says, I agree with what this says up here. So far, Johnson's top 3 opening weekends has come as part of the Fast and Furious franchise. And I say those, I wouldn't make those count, because the Fast and the Furious is going to do its thing, whether it has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or not. Now, will it do more with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Of course it would. It'll, be a little icing on the cake, but Fast and Furious does not need Dwayne Johnson. They have a loyal fan base to that franchise. So now the 4th movie on his career list is The Mummy Returns. Now that is the one where he played the Scorpion King. So this is his first movie. Of course, Dwayne Johnson wants to see something happen better with another big headlining role. He has not seen the same success as a box office headliner as he did in The Mummy Returns. And I know the man has to want to beat that performance. And to beat that performance, it's going to need more than $68 million. And guess what? Everybody is saying that this thing, myself included, I'm saying it can do 75 million. 60 to 75 million is easy. 68 million for the Scorpion King. Yeah, I think we can do 70, 75 million easy with Black Adam. The only thing that will stand in the way of Black Adam not making that box office first weekend figure is if it's a bad movie. If the people who go to see that movie, so like we've already had some reviews, and that was like a positive mix. So yeah, you had some people who had different feelings about it, but for the most part, it was a positive reception to Black Adam. Tomorrow, or no, not tomorrow, Thursday, the regular audience is going to be able to go see Black Adam. And that is going to be the tell. What that regular audience comes out of the theater thinking, and what they go to social media and type in, and what their opinions are, is going to drive how well this movie does over the first weekend. There are a lot of people who are waiting. They just waiting to see what other people are saying. In fact, I was combing over Reddit. Gosh, the things I do for you guys. So I was on Reddit, and I was looking to see if what people were talking about on outside of my regular social media circles. What people were talking about when it came to Black Adam. And there was an entire thread of people, and that's like a microcosm of what other people are thinking, right? But there was an entire thread of people who are saying, we're going to wait. We're going to see what the real reviews look like. Not the social media reviews, but from the critics, but what people who went to go see this movie themselves on Thursday, what they have to say. So what we say on social media is going to be very important to the success of this movie, I guess is where I'm going. So while I do believe some of the criticisms that we have already seen about Black Adam, about the script and that sort of thing, what we are going to this Black Adam movie for is, yes, we do want a good story and all this. I think most people are going to this movie because they want to see Dwayne Johnson wreck shop. I don't give a damn what he's saying. Is the CGI on point? Does Dwayne Johnson wreck a few people? What else? What else? What else we looking for? Yeah, is it big action scenes, big action sequences? If we got all of that, then ain't nobody thinking about the script. We will talk shit about the script. Now, don't get me wrong. We will talk shit about the script. But I'm not thinking about the script like that. If the movie outside of that is good, if we have if we get the option to see just big, ridiculous, bombastic things going on the stage. I mean, on the screen. I will forgive the bad script, because then we can say, you know what, the next movie you need to get a better script writer. That's it. Not we gonna throw away this entire franchise. This whole idea gotta go because y'all had a bad script. No, if that's the case, we'd be throwing away a lot of movies. No, it's like if everything else sucks, then yeah, you got to go. But if it's just the script, if we're getting everything else that we're asking for from a Dwayne Johnson movie, then yeah, I don't care what that script sounds like. Give me action. Now, how I know that we're going to get some action is that it was said that that movie was kind of struggling to not get an R rating. Yes, they wasn't trying to get no R rating. So I'm taking an article from Deadline that I am going to share with you. Let me see. And says Black Adam takes a lot of edits to avoid the R rating. So Dwayne Johnson's title character says at one point in Black Adam, just kill him. According to his co-stars. The comedian said he was taken aback by the departure from the honorable tough guy persona Johnson has crafted through so many other films. It just took me a second to recalibrate and be like, oh, wow, this is going to be amazing. Because, yeah, one thing about Black Adam, in the comic books, especially, because that's where we mostly have our source material is coming from, he is violent. He does not give not zero F's about, he doesn't care about too much of anything. He has his own sense of justice and he will apply it in his way. And the way he does it is not always Superman approved. You know, they call Superman the big blue Boy Scout. They call Black Adam a problem. You know what I mean? He's a problem. So Black Adam is not given zero F's about how he takes care of justice. It's just that he takes care of justice. So it's dark. It's dark. It's ruthless. And it did probably take a lot of work for it to not be rated R. Do you still want to measure whether or not you want to take your children? I mean, I think you should maybe wait to hear what other people are saying to see how violent it is, because you don't want the movie to be rated R and you mess around and lose half of your audience. You're under, or say you're 14-year-olds and up. You want them at the movies, the PG-13 crowd. You want them at the movie. Our R rating would eliminate all of those kids. So you don't want the R rating, but it's not going to kill the movie if you get an R rating. You see successful R-rated comic book movies, Deadpool being an example. I'm gonna get this background off. It's throwing me off. Hopefully, it's not throwing you off like it is me. uh yeah, we back to regular. Okay. I can live with this. Um I don't know what I was saying. So yeah, so he's working with the Rock. You know, he's still managed by his ex-wife, Danny Garcia, and she pushed, hey, we want to get away with as much as we can, without getting that R rating. So uh Black Adam does kill people. I guess I went all around the block to say that. Black Adam does kill people. He's killing bad guys. He's not just killing just regular citizens. He is killing the bad guys. But there are still rules in the universe. In fact, we talked about just a second ago Superman. Superman is trying to save as many lives as possible, even the bad guys, right? If he has a way, any way of keeping one of his rogues gallery alive, if he's got a way of doing it, he's going to do it. He's honor bound to try. Black Adam don't have any of those stipulations. That's what he's around for. He's going to kill you because he thinks that's what the right thing to do. He thinks that if I don't kill you, I'm going to be fighting you every week or every couple of weeks, like Batman and the Joker, like Superman and Lex Luthor. I don't want to keep fighting you. This is Black Adam. I don't want to keep fighting you. So I'll kill you the first time. You know, because a lot of problems could have been solved if Superman or Batman would just kill Lex Luthor or the Joker. Y'all know that. And in some iterations of the comics, it happens. But then, you know, you got to feel sorry about it. We can't just be, yay, they're gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead. We can't be that. We got to feel a little bad about it. So, anywho, they had to make a lot of edits to make this movie PG-13. Now, the fact that this is being announced means to me that they are trying to attract a crowd, because there are a lot of people that once they see that PG-13 rating, they say, oh, that movie is for kids. I'm not going. So you don't want to lose that audience either. So they're letting them know, hey, this movie finally got the PG-13. We had to do a whole lot of editing to get it to PG-13. So it's a violent movie. And guess what? We didn't throw any of that stuff away. So when you buy the DVD or the digital copy of it later, all of that's going to be in there. Now, to me, that's masterful marketing. And that is what Dwayne Johnson and his wife, his former wife, Danny Garcia, are known for. If they don't know how to do anything else, they know how to market Black Adam. Or not Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson. They know how to market him. And he came out and made sure that people knew, hey, there is violence. There's lots of it. It's far more than what you're used to seeing in a lot of PG-13 comic book movies. And if you have patience, you'll be able to get the uncut version at home for your digital release. But right now, you guys take this with a grain of salt. It's still going to be a violent movie. So if that was holding you back, the fact that you think that this movie is going to be kind of kiddie because it's PG-13, Dwayne Johnson is putting his word on the line that that's not the case. It's going to be a pretty decent level of violence in this movie. Now, just because there's a whole lot of violence, does that mean that the movie is going to be fantastic? I can't co-sign on that. But I can say that they're trying to stay as close to the source material as they possibly can. So you got to respect the fact that they're trying to stay close to the source material. And then we start getting word out of DC, because I guess Black Adam and just uh, the potential that this movie has at the box office. We start getting all of this news now lately that, hey, Black Adam is coming out Friday. Walter Hamada, the problem, everybody had a problem with Walter Hamada. He's leaving. He's leaving. He's going to be gone in a couple of days. And we going into a whole new direction. So we know that Dwayne Johnson is saying, hey, later on, we definitely plan. Hey, Clarence, later on, we definitely plan to have what's his name? Superman and Black Adam meet. They're going to face off. Okay, there we go. So yeah, Superman, Black Adam going to meet. We know that's coming. Then we're starting to get word that there's going to be a new Superman movie in the works with Henry Cavill. Yes, so we're getting that. Then we also have heard from an exclusive report from Hollywood Reporter that James Gunn is working on a couple of new DC movies. Besides what we know, besides that Peacemaker stuff. And so he's working on something else. And, it's starting to get to be some momentum coming out of DC, because we've also heard that J.J. Abrams, he's still working on something. Matt Reeves is working on movies for the Rogues Gallery of Batman, for the Batman. This whole universe is starting to spread out. Guess what else I heard? Claire said, yes. Guess what else I heard? They already got a script written for the Flash, the next Flash movie. So I'm like, okay, even with Ezra Miller, and we're going to talk about him a little bit, he is still kind of like the wild card in all of this, but no Zack Snyder, Clarence. Yeah, he's still the wild card. Ezra Miller is still the wild card in all of this, but they already got the script written for the next movie. So yeah, I don't want to see anything Zack Snyder either. I think that's the mistake Walter Hamada made. So Walter Hamada was the person who was kind of, I guess you could say, he's equivalent to the Kevin Feige in the DC universe, or at least he was, right? So he went on he gambled on Zack Snyder, filling the role of a showrunner, to being in charge of this universe. And so they need to put him in charge of this universe and let him go. And it wasn't universally received well. Zack Snyder's vision for the DCEU was not received well. So Walter Hamada was like, okay, well, let's throw it all in the garbage. Let's just throw away Henry Cavill. Let's throw away Ben Affleck. Let's just throw all of them in the garbage and start over. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was Zack Snyder's vision. It wasn't the people, the cast of these movies did fine. So they weren't the problem. The problem was the overall vision and the hodgepodge of mess that happened with Justice League. So Clarence was saying that maybe Matt Reeves should work on the Batgirl movie. And I'm wondering if they're doing what they have to do to try to hold on to her. Or are they getting rid of her and just throwing her in the garbage? Because then that would make them kind of the same as Walter Hamada. It's not her fault that they did things they bungled shit so badly during the pandemic, because that's basically what it comes to. It comes down to all of those movies that came out day and date during the pandemic that never went to theaters, that hurt HBO. That it didn't help HBO Max the way they thought it would, and it hurt Warner. It hurt them bad. So that was just that was bad decision making. So now you got to find places to cut. And here we are again. The place that we're going to cut is going to be uh, the female led project, Batgirl. Not saying that it was a sexist type of thing that they made them do this, but I am saying that it could have been anything else. It uh didn't have to be Batgirl. Uh-oh. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, Clarence saying if they redo it in the future. Yeah, if they do, I think they should try it the absolute least. And then they were talking about that Blue Beetle. Is it Blue Beetle I'm thinking about? No, no, I'm thinking about a Marvel movie. Sorry. I was going to say that Bad Bunny was going to play, but I don't want to talk about Marvel today. I just want to keep it focused on uh, DC because I do not give them enough love. Because now we got some news coming out. I mean, it's just the beginning pieces being put in place, but we see something happening. We see some movement. So I'm excited about that. Uh, let's see what else they have to say about Matt Reeves. So yeah, we got that series coming with Colin Farrell's Penguin, which I am excited to see because gosh, they did such a remarkable job with Colin Farrell and his transformation into the Penguin. I'm looking forward to that. But now they're saying they're going to actually try to make movies about Clayface and the Scarecrow and Professor Pig. And I'm like, some of these characters are obscure, and that's what we need. Just like I'm gonna go to Marvel for just a second. We didn't know who the fuck I know I didn't. I didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were for those movies. And guess what? They are fantastic movies. Beloved characters now. That it all feeds one another, Clarence says the future of the DCEU hinges on The Rock. And I think that we are, it's comfortable to say that that is the case 100%. It all is going to come down to Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson has proven that it's more than just a movie to him. It's a pet project. It's a labor of love to him. Anytime you work for 12 years to get a movie made, and then you work for 6 years to get a cameo for somebody in the movie. 6 years of asking, to continuously being told no, but you keep asking anyway, hey, can we get this? This will help the movie. And they no, we're not going to do that. Ta-Nehisi Coates movie was going to be about a black Superman. They still talking about doing that. The Last Son of Krypton. They're still talking about doing that. Now, Discovery did come in and they erased the projects that had Constantine and Zatanna, which I think, as long as they haven't said this is out of the question 100%, then I'm okay with it because I'm okay with them cutting those projects early, as long as they haven't thrown the ideas away, because Zatanna and Constantine are going to help. They're going to help. So yeah, that supernatural side of the DC needs to be explored, and it's sad that they have their entire catalog at their disposal and they haven't tried to use those characters in the first place. They should have been tried to use your Dr. Fates. You shouldn't have to wait until you've seen the success of another company do it before you try it. Clarence says, I wonder if they announced the Superman meeting and movie because Cavill is in this one. Yeah, they did. And look, that's one of the things that I kind of touched on in the weekly wrap up, but I didn't want to say it. But the cat's out the bag. People had already been announcing that that was the case. So now, even Dwayne Johnson himself was going around saying, "Hey, I fought to get Henry Cavill in this movie." So if you didn't know, spoiler, sorry, you know what I'm saying. But it's all over social media now, and it's all over social media. And yes, that's why they announced the Superman stuff, because uh he's in the movie. And everybody, and they look, if you are not a person who is deep into the social media lore, stay the hell off of social media, because I accidentally saw the uh the post-credit scene to Black Adam. I've seen it already, and it kind of makes me mad. Kind of makes me mad, but here we are, right? um Now, what else? Okay, so yeah, we were talking about Walter Hamada. He's leaving. He's gone. He got his last day sometime this week, and now it's like we can breathe. We're going in a entirely different direction. This is a new frontier for the DCEU, and that is a wonderful place to be, because now maybe we can get a little cohesion. I still feel funny about all these different universes. You got the Joker and his little universe, you got the Batman and his little universe, you got uh what's going on in the Justice League type universe. So it's all these different universes. Of course, all of that can be explained away by these different timelines and Crisis on Infinite Earths and all that, all these different Earths. So we could explain that away because of that. But then we got to ask ourselves, do we really need three different universes? If those three different universes are not going to ever come together, do we really need three different, continuities if we're never going to see them cross? So that's a question. Oh, what else we got? What else we got? Oh, yeah, I said I was going to talk about Ezra Miller real quick. And it's just a real quick thing. Because again, they got the script for Wonder Woman 3 done. Patty Jenkins has got that done. We got the script for a Flash sequel done, but we still don't know what's going to happen with Ezra Miller. So Ezra Miller today, was that today or was that yesterday? I think it might have been yesterday. He yesterday pled not guilty to felony burglary charges, and he is facing, or they are facing, 26 years in prison if they are found guilty of these charges. So that would be a problem. Not that I truly expect for them to be found guilty and to actually get all that time. But it is a possibility that they will get some of that time. Sometimes that is when you learn your lesson. When you look at Robert Downey Jr. and some of the other big names who went through these same types, maybe not as extreme, but went through some problems in their youth. They got better after their stints in prison. So hopefully Ezra Miller can stay out of prison, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But the movie is already written. So, I mean, recast, right? Or something. Clara said Flash will have to deliver for it all to work. And I'm willing to bet that this movie has to be. They're already saying that, test audiences loved it and this and that. This movie has to be good. It has to be, for them to continue to take all of the chances that they are taking with Ezra Miller. This movie got to be good. I'm wondering, a little part of me says, do you really want to go to this movie, Tasha? And Ezra Miller out here being a menace to society, and you're going to go and put some money in their pockets so that they can continue to be a menace to society. Clarence asks, did I see that Terrence Howard story that came out? Terrence Howard is full of it. Because if I thought, now, if we're talking about the same story, hopefully we are. If I thought that Robert Downey Jr. owed me $10,000, I'm coming at his door. Knock, knock, knock. I need my money. I need my money. So he's saying that Robert Downey Jr. owes him $100 million and that I just left it because I don't care. Yeah, you do care. $100 million is nothing to sneeze at. And if I were to trust the net worth websites, I bet you ain't worth no $100 million. So what do you mean it's not a big deal? It's a huge deal. I think he's full of crap. And Terrence Howard might just be just as troubled as as Kanye and Ezra. He just hides it a little bit better than they do. and if that was what you were talking about, Clarence, let me know. He said he got RDJ the job. Could he have? I think he could have. But if me and you, I was a manager at a Taco Bell. If I got you a job at Taco Bell, you don't owe me anything for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? You get a job at Taco Bell on my name, and then I get fired for doing something stupid or for being hard to work with. I'm supposed to be mad at you forever for being for the tacos? I know that's understating it by quite a bit, but still. Oh, he said, and when it was time for him to get paid, RDJ didn't return his calls. I can believe that. I can believe that. I mean, I'm wondering what was their. Let me pull this article up. I'm wondering what their agreement. What he's saying the agreement was. What is he saying the agreement was? I'm gonna pull the article up because I honestly didn't read it. I skimmed it. Sports keep. No, I don't want to read it from there. Well, here we are. It says, Iron Man established Robert Downey Jr. as the star that fans around the globe knows today. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Terrence Howard, the highest paid actor in Iron Man, who did not reprise his role as Tony Stark's pal, James Rhodes, in the sequel, leading makers to replace him with Don Cheadle. Terrence's removal was shocking for many, especially with this ill-fated dialogue. Next time, baby. Incorrectly foreshadowing his War Machine suit up. His exclusion from Iron Man 2 was related to a dispute with makers over salary. Allegedly, after the success of Iron Man, Howard was asked to work at lower pay than the already agreed upon contractual amount. Besides the salary dispute, some sources speculate that the reason behind Terrence's replacement as War Machine was related to the work. Insider reports rumored that Howard was a difficult actor to work with and had prior problems with Jon Favreau, the movie's director. However, none of the parties ever confirmed such rumors, and the pay cut angle remained a talking point throughout. The pay cut was allegedly between 50 and 80% and resulted in Terrence Howard's separation from the project. Interestingly, the controversy also became the reason behind a feud between Howard and Robert Downey Jr., as the former accused the latter of not standing up for him. During one of his appearances on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, when Terrence was asked about the whole fiasco, he said, "It turns out that the person I helped become Iron Man when it was time to re-up for the second one took the money that was supposed to go to me and pushed me out." When Andy Cohen further questioned him, asking whether the issue was related to him demanding the same pay as Downey, Terrence Howard elaborated, "We did a 3-picture deal, so that means you did the deal ahead of time. It was going to be a certain amount for the first one, a certain amount for the second, certain amount for the third. They came to me for the second and said, we'll pay you 1/8 of what we contractually had for you because we think the second one will be successful with or without you. And I called my friend that I helped get the first job, and he didn't call me back for 3 months. On Cohen's question related to Terrence Howard's relationship with RDJ, he said, "Oh, I love him. God's gonna bless him." He said he claims that he called Downey 17 times, but to no avail. However, in 2008, Robert Downey Jr. denied his role in the removal of Howard from the film and refused to comment any further on the matter. Downey's role as Tony Stark became the franchise's central character. Of course, it has. And Don Cheadle has been portraying War Machine's character since 2010. He's getting a movie, and he's going to also show up in Secret Invasion. So that was a lot, huh? Yeah. So he said, Clarence says he also said that Marvel reneged on their promises when they saw how good the movie did. Clarence says, I believe him. So he believes Terrence Howard. He didn't think that they trusted RDJ to stay on the straight and narrow. Plus, I can see early less lucrative on the brink of folding Marvel being shady. I can see that too. But then there's also it's also the rumors that it is hard to work with Terrence Howard. So it could be either way. It could be either way. You know, him being a kind of a diva could have just been what we needed to get him out of here. And you can't give them the ammunition. You know, show up to work, do your job, get along with your coworkers, I think, and then you just, you know, they at least they can't blame it on you when they let you go. Now, you know, there's the counter narrative out there that Terrence Howard was the one that was just so hard to work with, and he was just demanding so much. So yeah. And Clarence said, yeah, I believe it was both. He was coming off an Oscar, right? Yep. For that Hustle and Flow, wasn't it? So coming off that Oscar, his name should have been far more bankable. And it reminds me of the Monique situation. She was coming off an Oscar as well. And then what happened? Either everybody started being real shady to her, which is her story, or she became hard or difficult to work with, which is everybody else's story. Which one is it? I can see it being a little bit of both. I can see it being a little bit of both, but it's their stuff is on a similar trajectory. And like even recently, I think it was last year, Terrence Howard was supposed to do a movie, and the movie was about a student athlete who was dying of some rare disease, and the proceeds were supposed to go to charity and this and that. And he reneged. He reneged on that deal. And I think that's worse than I honestly will not ever look at him the same because of that. Yeah. Clarence says it's probably why Marvel started to back off a bit from A-list actors. Right. Because look, especially for what they did with the first Iron Man, and I know this was supposed to be about DC, y'all, I know, but okay. What they were supposed to do with the first Iron Man, they had a script. The script was like nothing. So they pretty much ad-libbed the script. So they had a bunch of situations and they kind of ad-libbed talking. And while Terrence Howard is probably strong at being given some lines and acting out a role, I think it put him in a bad place when they were freestyling through a movie. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the riffing going with everybody. And Terrence Howard was still a little stilted. If you ask me, I think that that type of acting is more in your Robert Downey Jr.'s, your Paul Rudds, your Ryan Reynolds. They can do that riffing. I don't think that was uh in his strong suit. Terrence Howard, I don't think that was one of his strong suits. Yeah. Now, if you sign a 3-year deal, he should have signed a better one. You're exactly right. Because hey, if you once the ink is dry on this contract, they're bound by it. So if you really were owed X amount of money, you should be able to get it. If that's what the contract said. I'm getting a feeling that that ain't what the contract said. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just telling you what I heard. Sucks. Yeah, you're right. You should have signed a better deal. Uh, I bet you she does. Look, you said saw another story where Emily Blunt regrets turning down Pepper Potts, especially if again we getting into these contracts. So look how long Gwyneth Paltrow made money showing up as Pepper Potts every few minutes. It's like it wasn't uh like after the second movie, no, maybe after the third Iron Man movie, she wasn't like a huge part of the universe until we got to Endgame. And now we're talking the last maybe hour of Endgame. So really, she probably did collectively 30 hours of work. And she probably got paid. So yes, I believe Emily Blunt would feel that way. Um, yeah, I wouldn't have said no, but of course I have I kind of already had a love for the IP. So that's one thing. I wouldn't have said no. If you don't know if this is like a gamble, I can understand saying no and having that regret. But man, Gwyneth Paltrow was a big deal when she signed for that movie. So yeah. Let me see. What else did we have? Did we have anything else to talk about Black Adam? Oh, they were also saying that look on the Batman, Paul Dano said that the heads, studio heads, executives, and stuff put tracking devices on these binders to keep people from leaking the information before the movie came out. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, so if if they're doing stuff like that, because if they're doing it, then that means the other large studios are doing it. Doesn't that make you think that all of these leaks that get out are being put out by the studios themselves? If I have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to walk backstage on your set, now I've signed. I can't put nothing out. I can't talk about what I've seen until you tell me I can. So I'm like, what is all these leaks that come out? I think they're coming out because they're intended to come out. And part of it is me thinking about the leak that came out on Black Adam, and I won't repeat what that leak was, but when there was a leak in Black Adam, I start to think they put this information out because they felt like they needed to. And if they felt like they needed to, does that mean that this movie might have some weak spots? We gonna see. We gonna see. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't want it to be weak at all. I want to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson play the role he was born to play. Yep. Let's see. Was there anything else before we can just start taking? Yeah, the name of that movie. that the ladies are going to go see instead of Black Adam. So that's this audience wasn't going to see Black Adam anyway. It was the women audience, the older women, people like me. They're going to see that movie, The Ticket to Paradise, that Julia Roberts and George Clooney. And I have no desire, but I think that they're saying that's a big draw. That could be a movie that will steal some of the box office revenue from Black Adam, but I don't think it will steal much because they're two entirely different audiences. And then also we still got Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends out there, and we can see that on not Paramount, Peacock. But there are those people who just have to see this horror movie on the big screen. So now I'm trying to think of something too, Clarence. Wait a minute. Emily, I be forgetting who is who. Yeah. Emily Blunt. That's Krasinski's wife. I don't know why that just went past me like that. So maybe that'd be a reason why she wouldn't turn down this Sue Storm role. Even though it's a much bigger role than it's a much bigger commitment than Pepper Potts, because Sue Storm is a huge part of of the action in the such for Fantastic Four. We're gonna see, yeah. We're gonna see. I have seen a few other people being mentioned for Sue Storm. We're gonna see. Uh, what else was I gonna say? Oh, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and this is something again that just kind of stuck out to me. I was on Reddit and I went down that rabbit hole of watching reading what other people were saying about Black Adam. And one of the comments that was made was Black Panther has already announced, hey, our review embargo is going to be lifted on November 8th. The movie drops November 11th. That's a 3-day window for the reviewers, the critics, to come out and say, this is what we liked, this is what we didn't like, this movie is worth it, or whatever. Why have we not gotten this review embargo lifted from Black Adam yet? That is another question. Why what are we holding on to? Now the movie is coming out Friday. So, okay, if the review embargo lifts tomorrow, I'll be like, okay, they at least gave us 2 days. But it's getting closer and closer to the day that this movie is coming out and that review embargo hasn't been lifted. And I'm like, I want to know why. Because we already know when the review embargo is being lifted for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That makes me, that gives me a little pause. Because again, this is because some of the social media reactions, those were not reviews, those were reactions. Some of those social media reactions were not favorable, but the overall feeling about the movie was positive. So if a big audience goes out and finds themselves not liking this movie, are they going to go to social media and say, just skip it, and will other people listen? Now you guys, if you've been with me for a while, my buddy for these movies is my son. And my son and I have been doing this for some years now, right? And he's not going. He did not see the Batman, didn't go. And even though I said, you know what, it's a good movie, still didn't go. He saw the Suicide Squad. He watched that on HBO Max. And look, he was like, you see how stupid these people are? This movie was a good movie and the fans didn't support it. He's like, that's why he doesn't mess around with DC movies, because it's not about the movies. It's about other things that make people come out and support. The movie itself, the characters, it's not about the movie to them. They will trash a good movie. Yes, they will. Y'all know I'm not lying. They will trash a good movie because it's not starring who they want it to star. Y'all know that's the truth. And I ain't saying that the Marvel people better, because they sitting here whisperings about we not going, we not going because they didn't recast T'Challa. Take what you're getting. And I'm not saying you gotta like it. But if you end up liking it, at least give it a chance. Shit. So many people are just feel so entitled to so many things, and that is our fandoms now. Our fandoms, we just I sometimes sometimes it makes me sick. Like I enjoy the talking about it, and uh to have a meeting of the minds or a good healthy debate with somebody about these things, because it's entertainment, you know. And yes, I do. I love this. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love Star Trek. Y'all already know that. I love Star Wars now. I've fallen in love with Star Wars. And there are many other IP that I enjoy so much. But it's just hanging out with some of the people or just being in the presence, not even the physical presence, the virtual presence of some of these people is freaking oppressive. It just sucks. So I know my son is kind of, he's set in his ways. He's like, nope, because they keep coming back with the same characters. They keep switching the Batmans. They keep doing this. They keep doing that. And he's like, I'm not investing myself in that. And I understand. I understand why. It just means I'm gonna have a hard time finding somebody to watch that movie with me, because I don't go out, especially like by myself anymore. I definitely ain't going out to no movie right now. I'm not in the right headspace. But if he was with me, I would go. So I got to figure out how I'm gonna, uh, get myself worked up to go. Anywho, I don't think I got anything else. I'm wondering if anybody else. I got a couple people watching. Does anybody else have something you want to talk about before I get up out of here? I'm pretty good at coming off the top of my head, um, answering questions. I'm not bound to a script, so there's that. Yeah, I'm not bound to a script. I can riff a little bit. We have a couple of, let me see. I need to check the Andor count, the Andor episode count, because we might be over. We might be about to be over with Andor. Let's see how many episodes that was for this first. So tomorrow is episode 7. And I want to know how many. Uh-oh. See, I'm looking now. It says first Andor audience demand numbers show significant decline from previous Star Wars series. So now I have heard a lot of people complain about Andor and calling it Yondor. Has anybody else seen that? I felt like this is a slow burn, but it's not a bad series. In fact, um, if they dropped off before episode 6, then they're gonna hate that they did that, because that's when things are starting to ramp up. It's starting to put us into uh, that Rogue One feeling again. Um, there was on Twitter, the most disappointing trend I've come across recently is how audience demand for Andor is overwhelmingly lower than The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan, despite the fact that it's easily the best Star Wars series by far. And it is, that's subjective, but it is a good series. And even though I don't agree that it is better than season 1 of The Mandalorian. I don't, but it's not over yet either. I truly enjoy season 1 of them. Enjoy both season 1 and 2, but I really enjoy season 1. Um, but yeah, Andor is a good series, and people are sleeping on it because they want pew pew and lightsabers and Jedi, and let's tell another side of this story. And I'm enjoying learning more about how the rebellion was formed. How did they decide that we're gonna all get together and we are going to, in all these different cells, we're going to battle the empire. I was fully invested in what is going on with what's going on in Andor. Now I'm gonna tell you the series that I really was not feeling. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch it all now that it's all out. It's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. First episode did nothing to me. But Andor, I'm digging, I want to know what other people think. If you got an opinion on Andor or Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power, even that Game of Thrones one, I forgot the name of it. Game of Thrones. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the Game of Thrones one. I don't watch Game of Thrones, and I don't have HBO Max, so I don't want no spoilers because I might get it, But tell me, how you feeling about all of those series? Yeah, I can't wait tomorrow. Or later on to what I call tonight. Later on tonight, I'm gonna be watching. I'll be up waiting and watching Andor. But the idea was for me to find out how many episodes of Andor is it? Yeah, I can't remember. I know I knew at one time if it was 10. It's 12. Oh. So, and we're already, tomorrow is going to be 7. So this will end November 23rd. And then they'll start that second 12 episode season. And that's going to be it, because then it'll lead straight into Rogue One. So yeah, I'm digging. I'm digging. I'm digging. There was something else. There's another series coming out. What series was it? The one, the animated Jedi one. Gosh. Legend of the Jedi. Uh, uh yeah, I can't remember. I'm gonna not no Bad Batch. It's Tales of the Jedi. Gosh, that one will come out October 26th. So it will be running a little simultaneously. As a matter of fact, I think they're dropping all of the episodes at once. Yeah, I think they're dropping all of the episodes at once. And it's only 6 episodes, and they're shorts. They're not like a long, it's not like you're getting a 30-minute episode. It's a short episode. We also got if you're a Star Trek fan, you got Prodigy. Star Trek Prodigy is making its return, and I believe that was October 27th. Let me see. October 28th. No, wait a minute. Where is it? Because I can't. I can't find it. Here we are. Yeah, it is October 27th. Sometimes I be knowing what I'm talking about, and I second guess myself. Yeah, it's October 27th. So that's That's good. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm wondering about the Wheel of Time. I haven't heard anything about that, because I was talking last on the weekly wrap up about the Lord of the Rings series. Now, the Lord of the Rings series is I'm a little bit upset at how they decided to do this, even though I'm not invested in the series. You're gonna have to wait like almost 2 years for the second season of the Lord of the Rings series to come out, even though they knew before season one was even released that there was going to be a season two no matter what. So why not film those kind of simultaneously, film them kind of together? Because now you have an audience that is a captive audience. Excuse me. You got a captive audience, and now you're making them wait for 2 years. Now we don't know when the Wheel of Time season 2 is going to air, and that makes me mad. Let me see. Now I didn't know that this trailer was out, and now that I know this, I'm going to. I will put it on our Facebook page. So if you are watching and you want to look in the description of this video, and you will see all the ways that you can catch up with us or keep up with us, even when we're not doing a show, so that you know all of our social medias and all of that stuff. Plus, there are ways that you can support the show if you desire to do so. Okay. So yeah, I was mad because they're, and now it looks like I'm gonna have to wait because I'm very invested in this doggone Wheel of Time. I want to know exactly what happens, the Dark One, and what happens with Matt and all of these people, and we don't know. We don't know. I want to see, and they don't have the second season. They don't tell us when it's coming, so it's like y'all suck. You said, did I say the Wheel of Time? I sure did, but there is a trailer for season 2. It might be like a little teaser trailer. I will put that on our social media pages. And you're preparing for the birthday dinner. That's fine. You got to do what you got to do. My son's birthday is coming up in a few days, and the only thing I got to do is the same thing I always got to do, and that is I got to make some banana pudding. The child just loves the banana pudding, so that's what I got to do. I got to make banana pudding for Quinn's birthday. I might sneak a little tiny little bit to the baby, just a little. Claire said, "Has anyone watched Lord of the Rings?" The only person that I know is Lysandra. Lysandra watched it and she loved it. I watched the first episode and I wasn't feeling it, so I stopped. I just stopped. So I'm going to. I told her I would go back and just watch them all. Try to binge it, and maybe it'll hit a little different. And of course, Claire says that Game of Thrones has been fantastic. I'm glad that y'all enjoying it. I wish I had HBO Max still, but here we are. I do not. But there was something else I was about to say about Game of Thrones. Oh, Reinhardt. Reinhardt has been doing like a Game of Thrones recap and a chat on Twitter and Twitter Spaces. Now as far as I know, he doesn't have a day and time pinned down, but I have been sharing in the Facebook group and such when he does go live so that we can support his channel. I missed him the last time because I was sick. I slept all day that day. And so when I got up and I saw it, I said, "Oh, I missed it. I missed it." So yeah, but if you are interested in supporting a friend, we got Reinhardt. Oh, another friend of the show is Clarence that you've been seeing me chatting back and forth with in the chat here. If you're watching this on a rebroadcast, give his podcast a listen. Discussing Trek. It is part of the Discussing Network. You will find that anywhere podcasts are served. So yeah. Okay, so I done talked about Black Adam. I don't have anything else, y'all. If y'all don't have nothing, we can call it 100 and get right the heck on up out of here. Find some food. So, yep, with all that, I don't have anything else. I will catch you guys on the next one. Have fun. Make sure you let me know if you go to see Black Adam. I don't know if I'm going to do a film review. Let's make sure you let me know if you go to see Black Adam, what your thoughts were. Spoiler free, of course, just in case I don't find a date for the movie. All right, catch y'all in the next one. Peace.